Hello there. New Things Day, February 15th, 2017. Comics first, as always, New Comic Book Day. It's the greatest day of the week, period. Uh, Something else. And then the book game, as always. I'm going to be honest. There's still a lot of books, but once the game's over, I'm going to miss it. I'm going to miss the game, even though I'm not very good at it most of the time. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. First up is comics. I don't know why. I don't know what happened. I had a monster number of books this week, and I didn't even get everything that I was supposed to. First, the things I didn't get, I guess. God Country 2 came into the shop this week, uh, was in my bin, but I never got God Country 1. I remember when it came out, the week it came out, I also had a big week that week as well. And I just remember thinking, well, if I didn't get it, I didn't get it. Whatever. I'll just not be on it. And then 2 came in this week. Hey, I didn't get 1. So I left that in my bin. I'll have to wait probably 2 weeks to get 1. Most likely be a reprint. I don't know if they're going to be ship that out again. In addition to that, Ultimates 2 number 4 came out this week, which I also didn't get because apparently I wasn't on it and I missed 3, which I don't recall. I know 4 was in my bin. I looked at it. I said, did I read 3? And then I looked on the shelf and 3, nope, I did not read it. So I put both of those in my bin to get a later time. In addition to that, I thought there was one more. Oh, I did not pick up Star-Lord. My shop was shorted, and there was enough for the people who were actually on it. I've been picking up off the shelf. I haven't necessarily been on it. So hopefully, if I go into work, somebody would have not picked up their books yet, so I can still read it before they come to take their books. Sounds a little shady on my part, but I'd like to read it. Now that I'm not talking about things I didn't get, now I can talk about the things I did get. Like Marvel books first. Deadpool number 27. Is this bi-weekly now? I don't understand what's happening. I feel like I know there's Deadpool minis out and going on, but I feel like I'm reading the Deadpool core book every week. I don't think I am. I think it might be bi-weekly, but that still seems very frequent for this book. I like it, so I'm not going to complain that much about it. The Mighty Thor number 16. Gonna hold the cover this way because that's the way that it looks the best. These are the gods of um, the Shi'ar gods who looked badass in the reveal at the end of the last issue. And Jason Aaron on this book is unbelievable. This Thor is great. Unworthy is great. That came out last week. I think it came out last week. Jason Aaron, as I've said many times before, and I'll say many times again, at this point, he can do no wrong in my book. Silk number 17. I love the character Silk. I do. I love this book. I've been with Silk since she first premiered as a character, and there was a cover of I think it was Totally Awesome Hulk that she was on. Like she was like front and center of it, just killing it. She looked amazing on the cover, and I like Silk so much. I think I may get that image of her from that cover tattooed. I love that image, and I love Silk. I'm pretty excited about it. I haven't talked to my artist or anything yet, but I'm heavily debating it. Punisher 9. Uh, Very violent. I liked the old lady in the last issue. It just at this point, it's a little. I don't know. It seems a little. I don't want to say generic because it doesn't feel generic. It just doesn't carry the same weight as it did earlier in the series, and I think we all know why. But I'm gonna give at least till 10. So this issue another one, and if I'm not completely sold on it, then it's gonna have to go. It's gonna suffer. But I have been enjoying what I've read so far, just not to the point of I'm excited to read it every week. Uncanny Inhumans number 19. I've been loving this book. The Inhumans vs X-Men tie-ins, not so much. We'll see how it goes. I like this is a different aspect than we're seeing in the other tie-ins, though. This is Maximus and Triton teaming up to be heroes. that'll be interesting to see how that works. So looking forward to that. Another Inhumans vs. X-Men tie-in. This is Uncanny X-Men 18, the only X book I'm on, and I think every week about dropping this just because it's the only X book I'm on, and it seems like all the X books intermingle with each other, and I don't really know what's happening in the other ones. But it's an Inhumans vs. X-Men tie-in, so at least I'll continue to read it. At least, I don't know. It looks like the three characters in here are Sebastian Shaw, Archangel, and Zorn, Xorn. I don't know how his name is actually pronounced. But I don't know. We'll see. I had this because it was my X book fix, but I kind of feel like I don't need that at this point. I don't know. We'll see moving forward. Old Man Logan 18. Huge reveal at the end of the last issue after we've been confused for 2 issues. So I'm excited to see where this goes. I don't really have to say much about that book because everybody who's reading at least is really enjoying it, and I don't think it's in danger of going anywhere. On that front, Legion, I watched Legion last week. I think Legion's tonight also, and it's something. It's definitely something. I watched it twice. I feel like I needed to watch it twice, and yeah, it's definitely something. We're definitely going to talk about that more in depth on the podcast. It'll be in the description box. The podcast YouTube channel as well as the audio only link will be down there. So check that out. Also follow us on Twitter at Earbones Podcast. Follow me on Twitter at Breakdown Brand. You can follow Stick, my co-host, at Stickosaurus. That being said, now that I got the shameless plugs out of the way, DC book time, Trinity number 6, and the badass cover here with a Superman kind of going mad, although it does kind of remind me of like a 90s or a early 2000s metal cover. I feel like we saw that image a lot in early metal covers. A book I wasn't sure if I was going to pick up. Wasn't sold, wasn't entirely sure, but got suckered into it somehow. And its cover is adorable. This is Super Sons number 1. I like the idea of it. If the actual instrumentation of it is good, then I'll probably stay on it. A book that's not going anywhere from my pull, has no chance of going anywhere, much like many of the other books, though. Green Lantern 17, issue in and issue out, this book is phenomenal. If you're even kind of like a borderline marginal Green Lanterns fan, you should be reading this. Even if you don't like Simon or Jessica, give this run a chance because they'll win you over. This book is great, and there's an amazing storytelling being told in here too. Sam Humphries writing that is phenomenal. Batman number 17. It's a Finch cover. Tom King is doing some great things in here. He's adding comedy, which you wouldn't expect. I know Batman and comedy don't go well together. They do sometimes. Sometimes you need to lighten it up a bit to show how dark it can truly get. But the I Am Bane storyline continues, and I could not be happier. Bane's coming to town. It's like Santa Claus. Cave Carson has a cybernetic eye, number 5. I feel like I'm having the same issue with all of the Young Animal books, where I'm really, really enjoying them all. Yet, if I was quizzed on them, or if I was asked specific questions about storyline or characters, I wouldn't know. It's like that with Shade. It's like that with this book, Cave Carson. It's definitely like that with Doom Patrol. Mother Panic to a lesser extent. Mother Panic seems a little more digestive. Digestive. It's not that one. I just feel like it's easier on the palate, Mother Panic is, but I still really enjoy this book. I really enjoy the other books. It's almost like when I'm done reading it, I'm out of it mentally. I don't know. That's nothing against the book itself. I think that's me. It's the same with Doom Patrol, Cave Carson, and Shade. When I read all 3 of them, I'm super into it when I'm reading it, super into it. And then it ends, and it doesn't really stay with me. So maybe it is a little bit of the book, but I'm going to say that's also me maybe not understanding something and then maybe abandoning it and not wanting to think about it. I don't know. I'm enjoying it, though, so I guess I can't really be faulted for it. Does that make any sense? Mother Panic 3, the aforementioned Mother Panic with Batwoman on the cover here. Excited to get back into that. This was only a quarter. That's why I picked it up. This is Invincible number 133. I've never read an Invincible book in my life. I've heard good things. I've heard great things. I've just never read an Invincible book, and this will be my entry into it, I guess. So who knows? Maybe I'll find something to start reading. Start reading, as if I don't read anything. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers number 12. What a great cover. What a great cover. Tommy and Saba. Come on. You can't beat that cover. Wow. Love that book, too. That series has been great. WWE number 2. Seth Rollins. Seth frickin' Rollins. I'd also, while I'm on the subject of WWE, I'd like to acknowledge my Bray Wyatt shirt. Although this is the Bray Wyatt WrestleMania shirt when he fought Undertaker, and I fucking love this design. But Bray Wyatt made wrestling real for me again. I don't know how it happened, but I don't care. I'm not critical of matches that he's in. I'm not critical of his storyline. I'm just sold. It's the first time that wrestling has felt real to me in 15 years minimum, and it's so cleansing. It's so soothing. It's so wonderful. I'm being like shaken by false finishes. I love everything about it, and I'm so glad that WWE finally made the decision to make him the champion, make him the face of SmackDown, and as it appears now, main event WrestleMania, which is where I think he belongs. One of the best talents they have, and I can't wait to see where it goes. But wrestling feels real to me again. I marked out when he won. I ran around my house yelling, "Wrestling is real." So just had to say that because my love for Bray Wyatt knows no bounds. Just like Randy Orton's love for Bray Wyatt. Manifest Destiny, number 26. Love the green title on this. Liking this book a lot also, by the way. It's just one of those consistent books where it's more comforting than exciting. Where I read it and I'm comforted. I know where I'm at. I'm nice and I'm in a groove. It's not a rut. It's a groove. I'm in a groove, nice groove. Reading, home, safe. And last of the new issues, but certainly not least, let's be honest. This is the book I look forward to the most. Archie 17. Gorgeous cover. Amazing cover. This is the cover by Tula Late. And it is amazingly gorgeous. And I can't wait to read this. This will be the first book I read because, oh, God, do I adore this book. The whole Archieverse. The whole Archieverse. Thank you, Mark Waid. Thank you. Watch Riverdale, by the way. If you're not watching Riverdale, watch Riverdale. And my back issue for this week is the 1985 Hex number 1, 75-cent cover price on that. I don't have any. I mean, I think I have a few later, like way later books with Hex involved, but very few. Very, very few. So, decided to check this out. It was cheap. It was in the cheap books. All right, now that's out of the way. A few other things before I get into books. As you may or may not know, I also collect cereal boxes. Not the boxes as a whole per se, but I cut the covers out. I like cereal box art. I like the covers of cereal boxes. And it seems that Tara has given in on fighting that. And how do I know that? Because I come home and, well, initially she asked me what I wanted from the store. She was coming home from work. And I said, grab me, I think it's Honey Nut Cheerios, Lucky Charms. There's a few other, there's like 4 or 5. And all their, like the Leprechaun is dressed as, I think, maybe Batman. And the Honey Nut Cheerios B is dressed as, I don't know, Green Lantern. But they're all done by comic artists. And I told her to pick up those if she found them. Apparently she didn't. Or no, she told me that the only one there was a Lucky Charms or so one of them, whoever has Batman on it, but the box was crushed. She knows I don't like that. So I come home to these, which is 3 of the exact same cereals. The Disney Princess cereals, strawberry flavored cereal with princess marshmallows. They're all the same cereal. We have Jasmine, which this is the one I opened first because I love Jasmine. By the way, any of these promo cereals that come out to kind of promote something, either Disney princesses or Kung Fu Panda. The Kung Fu Panda one wasn't bad, but the Batman versus Superman cereals were awful. Most of the time, these are garbage cereals. The Civil War cereal, one of the worst cereals I've ever eaten. When Captain America: Civil War had a cereal come out, it's garbage. Most of the time, these cereals are not great at all. This is no exception. This isn't good by any stretch of the imagination, but it's not Civil War bad. Am I going to be able to make it through 3 boxes? We'll have to eventually. But got Jasmine, got Ariel, or Ariel, depending on how you want to pronounce it. And then, of course, Belle. And there's one more, which I guess you have to buy it now. We got 3 of them. It is Rapunzel, which is I have a legitimate question. When I used to think of like the big 4 Disney princesses, because that's something that would happen in my head a lot, I guess. It'd be Ariel, Belle, Jasmine, and I think Alice. Alice in Wonderland was another one of the big ones in my head. Is Alice in Wonderland no longer a Disney property? Because she used to be the big one. Was she never a Disney property? She definitely was a Disney property. And whatever happened to Cinderella? Are we done? Are we done with Cinderella also? I just feel like that 4th slot has been filled with many different princesses over the years. By the way, whoever the princess is doesn't matter to me at all. Truly, I'm just curious if Alice in Wonderland is no longer a Disney princess or not. But that being said, that's taken care of. I have something else involving cereal that I'm still working on that I want to get up, but we'll save that for a later date as well. Book game time, and then I'll get out of your hair. I'll get out. I'll leave. First up, A Week in New York by Margaret Culkin Banning, published by Triangle Books. This is Macaulay's mom, apparently. It's not. Might be. I can't confirm or deny. But hardback, little art on the spine. I'm going to guess 1953. 1953 on this thing. Published by Triangle Books and the Blackiston Company. This is 1947. Not that far off. 47. I'm all right with that. Next up is Bible History Catechism. And I have my fingers like this because I was going to try to play a game, and then I realized how unnatural it looks for me holding it like this. But it has a year on there. It actually says 1939. So the game will not happen with this book. This is a Bible history for schools, confirmation classes, and homes. Do it all. Do it all book. And although it says 39, this is a 3rd printing from 41. So I guess I could have still guessed. And I would have still been wrong because I would have guessed that number. A very, very heavy book. Next up, The Blue Sky Book, Prose and Poetry. Henderson Garrettson Weber, the L.W. Singer Corporation. Nope, company. A lot of little weird images on here. There's a skunk and a windmill and a sailboat and a blacksmith, it appears, and maybe Pinocchio. And then we have a guy with a bow and arrow. There's a locomotive on there, some lightning. Is that a king of some sort? Oh boy. I don't know what this is. It is illustrated. I saw a little bit of illustration there. It's not bad. My guess for this would be, I'm going to guess same realm as that first one. I'm going to say this is 51, 52. Published by L.W. Singer Corporation. Illustrated by Guy Brown Weiser. This is 1946. 46 on the Blue Sky Book. Next up, Encyclopedia of Games by Anderson. And if I recall, oh wow, somebody really went to town on this. Given by CBFMS, November 1959, to Reverend Paul H. Scrunton. And like that's some serious time put into that. Is that your like your handwriting? Because that is something. Like, it's not a stamp. That's handwritten. Binding's a little loose on this on the front cover. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure on what even to guess for this. 19. They've been in the same realm. 1953. I'm sticking with 53. One of these is going to be 53 eventually. This is 1959, third printing in 59. And this thing, I read through this a little bit when I was saving it. And Encyclopedia of Games is exactly what it sounds like. But I think that I need to do something involving these games and try to play them because some of these games are crazy. I'm just going to flip randomly and choose one. Dog on a Rope. By the way, game 353. This game requires a piece of rope about 20 feet in length, which is tied to a post or a tree in the center of the playing area. Someone takes the role of dog and grasps one end of the rope. The other contestants are cats, and they come in trying to tantalize the dog. The dog may run after the cats at any time he wishes. However, he may not proceed farther than the length of the rope. When he succeeds in catching one of the cats, the two exchange places. I feel like it'd be a good time if I get a couple friends together and we try to play these games. I'll tie a rope around a tree. I'll be a dog. I'm in. The best part about this is some of these are like checkmarked, like they're crossed off, like Reverend Paul H. Scrunton has played some of these or like done them with some kids at church or something. One that is crossed off is game 350, Castle Wall. Someone is selected to be king, and a small area is marked out, which is his palace. The other players come to the palace and annoy the king by stepping onto his territory. He tries to catch them. If anybody is caught, that one becomes the king, and the king becomes one of the contestants. So, game 350, very similar to game 353. Now, if these are all tag games, let's move it to the front of the book where there may be a different kind of a game. This game is called Left-Handed Tailor. Game 138. Supply each contestant with a scissors, instructing each one to cut with the opposite hand he uses for writing. Since it is almost impossible for somebody who writes with his right hand, for example, to operate scissors with his left hand, the result should be quite humorous as you give each contestant a piece of paper which he is to cut in half. Oh boy! Give them some scissors, use the opposite hand. It's not dangerous, and it's a blast. We'll have a lot of fun. We'll laugh for hours, guys. You can't use scissors with the other hand. What are you, nuts? I might be out. I might be out on the games. One of the games was to use scissors with your other hand. That's a game. Here, use your opposite hand to cut a piece of paper, pass it around. What a blast! Flying Finish by Dick Francis, a Harper novel of suspense. Gorgeous cover here with the Union Jack with kind of a Pegasus. We have a Pegasus going on. A very, let's be honest, a very voluptuous Pegasus, a very thick Pegasus, if you will. This is published by Harper and Row. I just finished a Dick Francis book, and I'm gonna be honest. I love Dick Francis. I'm terrified of horses. I got bit at the fair by Clydesdale when I was really young, so I'm really scared of horses. And I never thought I'd enjoy a story about horses. But Dick Francis's writing is of a quality that he makes me care. He makes me enjoy reading about horses, horse racing, horse raising, horse training, with mysteries involved. This looks like an early Dick Francis book, early publishing. I'm going to go 50. I want to say 53 again because one of them's bound to be 53. I'm going 53 on this one. I don't think it is because I don't think his first book, which was like a biography, came out until 53. Could be very wrong though. This book was published by Harper and Row. Come on, give me a damn copyright page, you ass. 1966. Yeah, I was off. I knew I was going to be off on this one. But that's a very clean looking book there. tiny tear in the dust jacket on that one. Excited about that book. Next up, we have Dead Yesterday, a Crime Club selection by Ruth Finesong. It's a mystery, and the dust jacket is ripped off the back. I don't like that. But the cover, the front cover, is pretty glorious. That's a pretty snazzy looking cover there. You know what? Let's do it. 1953. 1953. Published by the Crime. Nope. Published by Doubleday in 1951. Getting closer. Getting closer. Next up, we have the Overstreet comic book price guide, number 14. And a cover here by Bill Wagon. Archie comic, copyright of Archie comic, Archie cover on that one. There's a great great ad on the back here for Mylars and bags. It says, "Don't let your comics pass before their time," and has like a Grim Reaper there, RIP Comics. That's funny. Let's just find something in here we can look up. What should we look up? Well, first of all, I don't know what year this came out. Number 14. I'm gonna say what? 70s? I'm gonna say it's the 70s, right? It couldn't have been out before then. 60s? I go 73. I honestly have no idea when the comic price guide started. Oh, I was way off. It's 84, 85. So up till 85, we have books in here. Wow, there's a lot of ads at the beginning of this. Like, that's all ads. That's all ads. I'll leave it. I wanted to look up something to see what the difference in a book would be. Let's look up. I'm going to Iron Man. Check out what some of the Iron Man were worth in 84, 85. A lot of J's. I need I. There we go. There we go. Iron Man. In mint condition, Iron Man number 1, $40. 55 and 56. 55 being the first appearance of Thanos. 56 being the second part of that two-part arc written by Jim Starlin. $4.40 in mint condition. That's funny. Yeah, number 1's 40. After that, number 2 is 14. 3 to 5 is $8 a piece in mint condition, mind you. And then the rest kind of just. Oh, hold on, no, here we go. Looks like 109. I'm confused how they're wording this. 101, 109, first appearance of Crimson Dynamo. $110? Nope, wrong. Never mind. I'm an idiot. Don't worry about that. I was reading something wrong. Yeah, so there you go. I was just looking on this page to see what the most expensive book on it would be. Looks like EC Comics number 1 would be mint condition, $130. Wrong. International Crime Patrol number 6, Moon Girl appearance, published by EC Comics, $140. That's wrong. Intimate Confessions by Realistic Comics, July, August 1951. Number 1, Intimate Confessions, $400 mint condition. That looks like the most expensive one we're going to get out of here. Off this page, at least. So grab your Intimate Confessions, because you'll be cashing in now. 2 more left, and then I'm gone. 2. I'm sorry. We're almost at a half hour. I know. I got really mad at a games book and then immediately shifted out of it. You're probably confused. Your emotions are a little off. My emotions are always off. So if I'm translating any of that to you, I apologize ahead of time. Let's just work on this. The Uprooted, Oscar Handlin. The Pulitzer Prize-winning historian probes the deep human significance of the great migrations that created America. Wow, is this book important today? Published by Grossett's Universal Library. Paperback, The Uprooted, 53. Sticking with it. One of them's going to be 53, and I'm going to be so fucking pumped up. I'm not even going to end the video. I'm going to stand up and walk out. That's it. That's what's going to happen if the book is 53. Copyright 1951. So we're close again. By the way, the next one's not going to be 1953, so you don't have to worry about me walking out. This is Swimming in the Volcano by Bob Shakocious. It's a novel, winner of the American Book Award, hardback, library bound. Pretty decent sized book on this thing. Cover price of $22. Pretty big book, so I think price plays into that. I'm gonna go 1992. 92 on Swimming in the Volcano. I think I'm too early. 93. You sandbagging son of a bitch. God damn it. We were close. We almost did it. Almost did it, guys. Almost did it. But thank you. I got cereal in here. I got comics. I don't know what I'm doing, where I'm going. I'm not going to say the next part of that. But thank you for watching as always. I appreciate you more than you know. I love you. I care about you. And I got to find a way how to show both these covers. It's not going to happen. So fan these out. I'm not going to like this at all. Thank you. And see.